What is up, guys? Here is part 2 of the Fest coverage, I guess, or Android 16 deck profile / matchup breakdown. Don't really know the best way to do this, so I'm just going to kind of go round by round. You know, if there's anything notable about certain matchups, I'll mention them. What I sided in for each matchup, mention that as well. And yeah, hopefully shouldn't take too long, but we'll just see how we get on. So, first round. Highly expected deck to appear a lot at the event. U7 Goku, new red one. The player was fairly new to the deck, he did say that quite a lot. Normally I feel like I might struggle against this deck as it can push quite a bit of damage quite early with its cheap cheat outs that it's got. As for the sideboard, I put in Bafubas, like I say, for the big boss monsters of the deck. And then there was also Dirty Burst, again, big boss monsters for the deck. And then to negate a bit of the early aggro, I put in the Realm Extra. Like I say, was coming in pretty huge throughout the day. This was the first match of the day, and I was kind of surprised at how useful it was. I mean, towards the end of this game, what happened really? I didn't see any Dirty Bursts. I'd already seen this early game. He goes for the 4-drop. You know, he taps out 4, thinks he's got me. I'm on 2 life, no Unison on board, I'm pretty sure. Taps out 4. I've got a couple energy open. Got one of these in hand. Plays down the 8-drop. Goes for the swing. Mafuba. His turn's basically done. Passes back to me. I kill him on the clap back. More often than not, you know, U7 can take me down quite early. Quite kind of reliant on seeing things like Beans, Realm Extra, Child's Army Reinforcement, stuff like that, just negates basically to help me survive. And then yeah, managed to do quite a bit of damage early as well myself, and then took the win. Round 2 was Golden Freezer. So in testing, I found this deck quite difficult just because of the pure value that it generates. Makes the hand destruction element sort of not as relevant. But yeah, I mean, I personally think this is one of the best yellow decks in the format, rather than the Trunks, or I wouldn't really call Sin a yellow deck, it's more of a Sin deck, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm fairly used to testing against Golden Freezer, and it can go either way, I found most of the time. Sided in was East Kai for things like Riposte and Steadfast, and then, like I say, where is he? Borgos to stop that leader ability. Like I say, they can deal with it, you know, because it's yellow, they can just rest him and kill him, but if he's there to force some removal, fine by me. Game was it was alright. It was fairly straightforward in the sense, to be fair, no, he did do one thing that was pretty cool. Nobody's ever done this to me before, and I was kind of impressed. So it got, well, he went first, passed, whatever. It gets to my turn 2. I'm ready, you know, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to play this 16, I'm going to get my ramp off, happy days. But before I could do that, his turn 2, he taps out, played Mecha Cabrera and said 2-drop 16. And I was like, alright, yeah, sure, fair enough. I guess I can't play 16, I can't ramp. So if I remember rightly, I'm pretty sure I went for an early arrival from hand for one of these two and just started chipping away some damage. And I thought that was fine. And I think, okay, well, you know, that's the only out I can really think of to the 2-drop. He'd left an energy open, gets to my turn 3, I got to play it again just to see, you know, like, oh well, you know, I might as well get some energy ramp going, and he bloodlusts it, and I'm like, alright, sure, I guess I'm just not ramping this game. That was probably his downfall, because, you know, if you're using bloodlust on a ramper, when I'm going to get, you know, to turn 4, 5, 6 anyway, and you're not saving it for something like this, which is going to cheat out my win con, well, there you go. Yeah, nothing else really from that game. He drew a lot, and then I just ended up killing him. Happy days. Round after was Soul Striker Blue Yellow. Again, very expected matchup. This was fairly close. This is where I started to realise that, you know, okay, people who are winning for a reason, not just getting lucky. Definitely a really good player from what I could tell. I know at one point he definitely dropped the 8-drop Keflar on me. Normally I don't mind that if I've got a Boo on board. I don't think I did at the time. So, was a bit worried there, but managed to survive through it. And yeah, pulled out another win there. Sided in, again, Borgos and Kai. Kai, because we're used to them arrivaling things, or counterplaying with something like Zamasu if they have to. Borgos, obviously going to be an MVP against something like Soul Striker, where its whole strategy relies on untapping. Don't actually think I saw any of these in the game, but yeah, it was a really good game, but managed to squeeze out the win. Next round was against one of my locals, who is relatively new to the game, but he's a really good player. He actually finished top 8 in Notts, Nottingham, with Red Jiren. Spoiler alert, my round 4 was against Red Jiren. It was definitely the closest game of the day. I always seem to just, I don't know, with Red Jiren, they will slap you down, and you know, there's not too much you can do. Beans are quite good in that matchup to stop the annoying sticky 5-drop. I tend to die more against Jiren from a swarm rather than the big boss monster, followed with, like, you know, fighting against Fate or a King Piccolo, New Ruler, whatever. Yeah, definitely came down to the closest that it could, that's for sure. What did he do? I think I was on about 2 life, and he was, you know, I managed to survive an onslaught just about, and then he passed back to me, and I started going at him, and I know he runs Pan in his list, and I was like, okay, he doesn't have Pan, he can't have Pan. Started attacking him with all my bits. He gets down to, like I said, 2 life, and he picks up his last life, so second to last life, early second life. And I'm like, okay, right, this is it, I've got game. I swing, he puts Pan down, I'm like, fuck. And he's got 1 card in hand, and I had 1 swing left, and that swing was my leader's swing. And he goes, yeah, good game. And he called it because he didn't have that 5k combo piece in hand for my leader swing. And yeah, that was a fantastic game. That was definitely the closest game of the day. What did I side in? Like I say, Blue Impulse and East Kai. Playing stuff on my turn, I'm going to punish you for it as best I can. Kai, I mean, you know, it's red, so they can kind of remove it fairly easily, but if it's adding to the hand destruction value, then fine by me. Moving on from that, round 5. Ss4 Vegeta, yes. So this was a big misplay on my behalf. It was a grindy game. I forgot to side in a particular card. As I was saying in the last video, Go takes Unison to deal with the 6-drop new Goku negate. I forgot to side this in. So I think what I did actually side in was I sided in East Kai, and I think that was it. I might have done a Blue Impulse in case of any sort of body floodgate negates, but no. East Kai definitely went in. This should have gone in. I absolutely forgot, and he managed to storm me out like 4 or 5 turns because of it. But I managed to win through attrition, basically, because I would just constantly swing Zamasu into the 6-drop, whittle down his hand. Eventually, he can't protect it anymore, and then I killed him. And that was another win there. So yeah, slight misplay, not siding this in when I should have done, but yeah, still got the win. Round 6, Sinagra. So this was against Giovanni, very well known in the Europe scene from what I hear. Playing, like I said, Sinagra. Very intense game, very, very close. I think, well, again, I made a slight misplay towards the end, which resulted in the power of a Super Saiyan resting my Boo Unison before I could block with it. I don't think it would have made a great difference in the long run. Giovanni definitely had a lot of advantage going into that game. He did really well, and he took the win on that one. I did manage to stall at least a turn, I guess, with a Dirty Burst. He did force me to use it early by using a certain Sin Shenron 3 cost that can rest energy. So it was basically, use Dirty Burst now or you are going to die. And I was like, okay, well, shit, gotta use it. Bought me a turn, I guess, but in the long run, didn't matter, and Giovanni actually took the win there. So congrats to him, that was a really good game. And I mean, he placed he placed in top 4 in the end of the event, so well, you know, we managed to have our rematch as well, which we'll get into, no spoilers. But yeah, great player, great game, very intense, very fun. Yeah. And then the final round, round 7, we thought it'd end there because there was actually undefeated, but no, we don't follow those rules here. We went the full round 7, and it was against quite an interesting deck. Well, I didn't realise it was an interesting deck. I just thought, oh, it's a King Cold deck. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, it was a King Cold hand control. Basically taking what was the beauty of the Cell Surge hand control deck, put it into King Cold with a few good King Cold field cards and battle cards, whatever, Berry Blue and all that. It was pretty fun. I mean, I enjoyed the idea. I did the same. I was looking for an untapped 2 green leader when Cell got banned. You know, gotta find something to fill the void. It was a pretty fun matchup. But 16, I saw the pieces, got them in my energy. You can rip my hand down all you want, but I'm going to kill you regardless. So yeah, that was a fine matchup. Very fun deck. Definitely the most unique deck that I'd faced so far in the day, that's for sure. And for this matchup, I just sided in East Kais because I was expecting charismatics and coolers. Blue Impulse, same reason. And yeah, it turns out I didn't really need them that much because it was a hand control deck. But still, very good day, very good final round. And with that, I finished second in Swiss, only behind our good old friend Big O Notation on his blue Bojack. So yeah, made it into Top Cut. Going into Top Cut, there was, well, you've seen the breakdowns from videos now. I'll try to remember everybody. There was Android 18 mil, me on Android 16, blue Bojack, Sinagra, who I'd just faced in round 6, 2 Vegeta Xenos, and a blue Baby, if my count is right there. I think I've done an extra count there somewhere, but sure. I think that was 8. 18, 16, Bojack. Oh, there was a Wisdamasu as well. I don't know if I said that. Whatever. That's fine. I'm sure you can find the breakdown somewhere. But yeah, going into Top Cut, my top 8 match was against Wisdamasu. Josh, fantastic guy, relatively new, he said, first IRL event. Actually now joined Team Deckplanet because of our game. You know, we had a great game, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, you've got potential. You're pretty good. Do you want to join us? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. So fantastic. And his Wisdamasu list will actually be coming up either on this channel or his own channel soon. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, so this matchup, I have been dreading Wisdamasu all day. I was lucky to avoid it all the way up until now. But yeah, sideboard came in huge. Tapion Unison, absolutely massive. East Kai, Riposte, Steadfast Goku, fantastic. And yeah, it was as we predicted. I think he was having trouble finding the 5-drop Zamasu. He was doing a lot of cycling and managing to survive against the sort of onslaught I was bringing. I think it was around turn 5 or so. He'd tap out 5-drop Freezer, can't be removed by skills, got Deflect, thinking he's safe. Goes into my turn, I've got these both in hand, tap 2, play it, slide it underneath, -3, you get the skills, take it, and boom, we managed to kill him from there because he was tapped out with no defense. I don't think he was expecting it, and like I say, if he'd have seen his Zamasus earlier on, it might have been a different story, but this card, absolutely huge. If Zamasu picks up in the future, or even if just yellow decks start using the 5-drop Freezer more often, this card is going to be essential for a sideboard. So yeah, great game by Josh. I just managed to take out the win with a bit of good old tech in the side. Top 4 game, Sinagra rematch. So again, against Giovanni. Had a bit of a better idea of what his deck was going to do. Not that, Sinagra is not too easy to read, but I knew about the little 3-drop Sin that you could use to force my Dirty Burst. Used that. Well, I think to be fair, going into his turn 3, I just left 3 energy up. If I remember rightly. Or at least into the later turns, I left 3 energy up in case of this Sin, so that I could use my Dirty Burst. Again, really intense game. I know he definitely doesn't like playing against Android 16 from what he was saying. And I don't like playing against Sinagra, to be fair, so we're in the same boat. But yeah, again, sided in Dirty Burst, and I think I did the Realm extra this time as well, just to deal with the high cost cards. And yeah, I managed to squeeze out a win on that one. Again, it's still a very close game, very close. At this point, I'm just kind of in shock that I've made it this far. But yeah, Giovanni, great sport, great game, and then we'd made it into top 2. Top 2, Android 18mm. Again, I am friends with the player of this Android 18mm, Jamie from Scrib Games YouTube. It streams on Twitch as well. Great guy, very good player, very knowledgeable player. It's a deck he knows very well. Android 16 he knows as well, because we've done a lot of play testing the night before. And we run through the hypotheticals of how I win this matchup. And the two things I side in, quote unquote, are the 2 Mafubas, because that's like my only answer really, outside of God Sealing, which is already in the deck. And yeah, the only way that I struggle is if, let's hypothetically, this is what we were doing in chat, we were just like, oh, hypothetically, how do I win really? I see a Mafuba and a God Sealing, he sees only 1 Baby Ape or less, because obviously he's using the Baby Unison and the Baby Ape package. And yeah, I side both of these in. I see both of these fairly early on in my opening hand, so I'm like, okay, I'll keep a Mafuba, I'll keep a God Sealing, we'll work it up and we'll get there. Really intense game. I managed to get him down to 1 life whilst keeping the Baby Unison in check, so that he can't, -5 and then have the apes to protect him, free of cost, after using Rebirth into the freezer. I think it got to a point, he taps 5, plays the Baby Unison, +2 up to 7 markers. He did that, earlier on in the game, like tapped a lot for it and kept it safe. Managed to whittle that one down a bit. I think it was on 2 markers at the time. Like I said, it comes into turn 5 or 6 or something. He taps 5, plays a new Baby Unison, +2 up to 7, and he's like, "Nah, this is game." And I'm like, "All right, you cocky son of a gun," and he just taps out, plays it, pluses it, passes turn. First thing I do, most valuable swing, I've got a Zamasu on board. I'll go for the Zamasu swing. Hatch straight away. I'm like, oh god, here we go. Leave a couple energy up. Pass back to him. He minus 5s. And he's like, yep, good game. And he goes, tap 4, Rebirth, any response? I'm like, yeah, God Sealing. I'm assuming you've got an ape. And he goes, ape. I'm like, ape, sure, whatever. Freeze comes down. He goes, swing. I'm like, alright, I'm going to try my Fuba. Let me guess, other ape? Boom, 2 apes. And, I mean, what can I do, really? Apart from side my own ape. But that's never going to happen, is it? Maybe in the future, who knows. But yeah, fantastic game by Jamie. He knew he had it when he had it. He had the God Hand. Hatch, Baby, 2 apes. Can't do all about it. And it was one of the matchups I was really hoping to dodge. If I had to face it anywhere, I'm glad it was in the finals, I guess. But yeah, he's a great player, and yeah, fantastic. I think he won Nottingham the next day as well with a different deck, so he's definitely up there with some of the best in the UK. I think the only thing I could have really done is just gone for his life a bit quicker rather than caring about the Baby Unison all too much, because by that logic, it might force out a hatch earlier, or it might he might try to go for the kill a turn earlier when he doesn't have an extra ape in hand or something like that. I don't know. I think the only way I can try to do it is just beat him down quicker, but that's hard with Scheme, stopping the attacks on first card played. But yeah, that was my journey through DBS Fest on Saturday. Looking forward to more IRL events in the future. Again, huge shout out to our little UK testing chat that we've got from all our locals and up and down the country. Shout out to Deckplanet, best team, best sleeves. These sleeves came in clutch, getting here on Friday with the event on Saturday. Very proud of everybody in our chat, because I'm pretty sure all of us did either judging or topping fairly well, into top 16s, top 8s, firsts in Jamie's case. And yeah, thank you all very much for listening to me ramble. If you're not already, use Deckplanet. Join us on the Discord, join us on the Facebook pages. We're here to bring you the good stuff. YouTube channel, brand new. Subscribe, let us know in the comments what you think, and we will see you next time. Thanks a lot, guys. Catch you next time.